Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Oh, wait. I blew it.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, wow.
Time warp.
Wow. I'm so dumb. So dumb.
Jonathan Morris is here from Morris Family Farms, more organic meats in Lake Mary.
Yes.
How you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all today?
We are great.
So we're going to talk about some new meat box options. We just started on Friday. It's up at tomanddan.com right now. You could order and pay through our form right now.
Indeed.
I just confirmed that this morning because originally on last Friday's show, I was like, I don't know if Tony set up the payment yet because he's on a cruise.
No. He set it up.
So yeah.
He set it up.
Every time I email him, I'm like, you don't have to get to this until you get back. Done.
Yeah.
Done in 5 minutes.
Well, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're out at a vacation, she'll be out doing something. I'll be like, did the thing get done? She'll message from, I organized it for you. I'm like, you're supposed to be on vacation.
Right.
You're not supposed to be doing anything.
So before we go into the meats, I will say that last night was our fantasy football draft.
Yes.
And someone bought me some shots of Malort.
Malort.
Yeah.
You ever had Malort?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
It's like a-
Is that in the Bud Light family?
It can be. If you have enough Bud Lights, it will lead to Malort.
Okay.
What I believe, I could be wrong on this, but what I believe Malort is a licorice, black licorice flavored liqueur that is very popular in Chicago. That's what I know about.
Well, I'll have to warn you, I'm very classy.
Yeah,
I don't drink a lot, but when I do, it's Jim Beam.
Okay, all right.
Well, I was going to
That was
ask
my dad's favorite,
Jonathan,
Jim Beam. Yeah, man.
What I was going to ask you is, this morning I woke up rough, where I felt
You feeling
poisoned.
it today?
I felt
baby.
it, and
baby.
and I thought to myself, because I knew Jonathan was coming in today, we were going to talk about all these meat boxes, and I thought to myself, if I had to do what Jonathan has to do on a daily basis, I wouldn't be able
You
to.
can't.
Like,
You can't do
I
it,
could
no.
not survive through a day like that, and I know it makes me weak to say that, but
Or not, you haven't practiced. Maybe you haven't practiced.
I was dreading coming in here, sitting in the AC, talking. I was just like,
right.
oh God.
Yeah.
And so, Jonathan, if you wake up feeling bad,
Are you asking Are you asking a real ranch man
I know,
how to handle a hangover?
You just sweat it out. How does it work?
So that process is normally I roll out of bed onto my knees.
Oh,
I thank God for not killing me the night before.
Okay, all right.
And then 32 seconds or so later, I make it to my feet. I cuss a lot, I bumble around the room, but I gotta go. There's no way you can't not go.
Yeah. There's you can't. There's no one to call in and be like, hey, I feel too bad to go work there.
Knows. Like we're like that though with having this. I mean, there's no skipping a Monday or Tuesday like today.
Yeah. Well,
had I woken up this morning and couldn't function, there's no such thing as me calling you and being like, dude.
Well,
like,
we had a nice time last night. It's my wife and I's 27th anniversary.
Hey, congratulations!
Congratulations!
My wife loves. I can take my wife on a 7-day trip. If she doesn't get extended checkout on the last day, she feels like she was robbed.
Okay.
Right?
So she likes to get the most out of her vacation.
She wants that last day. Nobody talk to me. Nobody mess with me. Go down to the pool. Do whatever y'all want to do. I don't care.
Okay.
Just turn off all the lights and alarms and everything till as late as we can get. Some places are 11. Some places are 12. So she's in the hotel, sound asleep. Maybe sleeping still, maybe getting up, but
right now, and you took time out of your anniversary to come here to talk meat with us. He's all dressed to the nines. He's supposed to be there with his loving wife.
And I was. We spent the whole weekend together. It was fantastic. But in order to get here this morning, I shotgunned 2 Red Bulls.
Oh, God.
Well, back to back?
Yeah, that was my breakfast. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We had a nice
get
time.
your heart pumping.
We had a nice time last night. The Bohemians, it's an amazing place. We went down there, and I've never been to a hotel like that.
Yeah, it's a fancy hotel. Every room I walk into, I'm wondering if there's a millionaire who wants to sleep with my wife. We're making an indecent proposal around every corner.
Yes, well, when we were getting reservations for the restaurant, I didn't know if the lady what all was coming with our reservation. I asked my wife, I was like, did we just hit the lottery?
Yeah. What's happening? They keep bringing me. This guy's got a little piece of metal and he's scraping the crumbs off into his own pocket. What's happening?
So let's talk meat right now.
All right.
Because it's Labor Day weekend coming up, and this is kind of why
it's meat season.
We were trying to put this all together so people can get their different meat boxes for Labor Day weekend, because it's a popular grilling weekend. people hang out.
I can't do football without meat.
Yeah.
That's just me.
It's I feel like I don't bother taking my boat out because it's a circus at every single I'm like, so I'm probably just staying home this weekend, barbecue, maybe pool party.
Pool party.
I'm going to a pool party.
She's already has.
I've already been invited.
Yeah, you missed your window of opportunity to invite.
It's the perfect weekend to grill, and therefore we put together, as Jonathan told me, some options that we could do.
Okay.
Kind of
so this is new stuff for our guys.
Yes, a small, medium, and large option at, like I said, it's at tomandan.com. And we'll start off with the Weekender box. This is, we also have the 159, the staple that we started out with.
Sure.
That's the medium.
These are just different variations.
Yeah.
Here.
So with the Weekender box, we thought, me and Jonathan were talking, like, this is a good, like, if you're having some people over just grilling in the backyard, you wanted to go in, maybe a tester if you haven't ordered from Organic Meats before.
Yeah.
It's $99.
Yeah.
And what's in the Weekender box?
Well, first of all, I wrote a jingle on my way over this morning.
No.
Yes, I'm here for it.
You came with
jingle by
bits.
Jonathan.
Hey, I can't show up with no content.
I like it. Hey, I'm hungover.
Please do our job for us.
Just
I don't have any music or any dancing to it yet, but I got
we can work on that.
I got the premise of it.
Okay.
It says, "Let our flavors reward your labors."
Hold on, you're being serious.
Hold on, he's spitting rhymes.
I'm so used to people writing. Okay, Jonathan.
Don't interrupt his rhymes. He's spitting rhymes.
No, don't worry about it.
No, I love this because I think where Tom and I, where you saw our facial expressions go like, what's happening?
I got started dressing.
The confusion is you look so, you're dressed to the 1000s, you look good, but I thought you were being funny. You're going to do like, hey, somebody, they just be silly. You were not. You were like, let our flavors.
Yeah.
Reward your labor.
That's like a heartwarming, like, yeah. Do you know Bluebell homemade ice cream?
I know of them.
Do you know the song?
No.
I'm going to give you a little bit right now.
Okay. All right.
Bluebell homemade ice cream. It's the ice cream on the cake. The cream of the crop, the tip of the top. It's like owning your own ice cream shop. Bluebell homemade ice cream. It's country ice cream style. And Bluebell is better than a country smile.
Wow.
There you go. See?
We're going to do something
Why
like that from Organic Meats.
From Jonathan?
No, I'm just saying this is what we're going to do with the Let Our Flavors Reward Your Labor.
So I'm gonna ball my jingle up and throw that in the trash.
No, that's a start, Jonathan.
I think yours is even better. I think yours is even better.
Daniel can come up with the
flavors of labor.
You haven't let him finish.
We'll get with you later. We'll put some production.
Oh, you had more?
Just a little bit. Maybe
he never finished his jingle.
Hold on. Labor flavor.
No. What, are you going to do music to this?
No.
You're just this acapella.
Spit your rhymes.
You tell us the words, and Daniel put
I'll
it.
say
it's like spoken word.
So we have Let Our Flavors Reward Your Labor, and what else?
Oh, hang on. When I say write it down, I thought about it in my head.
Oh, no.
Now you messed me up. Now you up.
You're meat Tom Vance.
Wow.
Well, we'll get to it later. But let our flavors reward your labors on this Labor Day. Something Organic Meats.
Okay,
hold on.
Yeah, something Organic Meats.
I'll get to the next stop sign.
This is done for Friday. I will have this done.
Okay. All right, so let's get to the Weekender.
Yeah. What's on the Weekender?
Only $99.
Yeah, you get 5 hamburgers.
5 hamburgers.
5 hot dogs.
5 hot dogs.
4 pork chops.
4 pork chops.
4 brats. I got to talk about the brats for a second.
All right.
Maisie, because my daughter Maisie equates sausages with your pool parties.
Yeah.
We made these brats at the house, and man, unlike any sausage store-bought garbage you'd find anywhere, my daughter just thinks your sausage is the best thing in the world. Any of those meats, especially she likes pork, my daughter.
Okay.
Any of your meats, as soon as I cook them up, she's all in. No sauces, no you don't have to cover it with anything, no gravy, nothing.
Yeah.
Just eat the meat. It's that good.
And this is some of the highest quality you could buy, straight from Morris Family Farms, and there's no antibiotics, nothing put added to this.
Nothing. I mean, one day we'll get into a show about all the lies and the loopholes that they have out there, for the labels. Antibiotic free, grass fed, grass fed. There's so many lies in the label because they give you the ability to create that lie and then still put something on a product. We don't do that. When we say no antibiotics, that means that animal never had antibiotics in its life. not just the last 7 days it was alive.
Because they can get away. And they say grass. Well, it ate grass one time. Who cares?
I know those people. They're like, I go to the gym. You have a membership.
Right.
I know you.
Real quick, the USDA, and you can go to their website and look it up. Their definition of all natural is a natural occurrence occurred during the natural life of the animal.
It's,
Right.
yeah,
It was born. This is an all-natural product. Yes.
Again,
at one time it was alive.
I messed this up, but like 5 hamburgers, 5 hot dogs, 4 pork chops, 4 brats, and 2 split chicken breasts.
And the thing about our chicken, so everybody understands, I had somebody call and say, I got this chicken from you in the last box. It's really big. Like, how's this all natural? I was like, well, if you look closely, there's a tendon that runs through that, a vein. And that's where, in a normal grocery store setting, that would be removed, and they use that for some other type of byproduct. So that's actually the rib meat that wraps around the back rib cage of the chicken. So our breast has the full top lobe plus the rib meat attached. So it's a nice 1 pound, almost 1 pound piece of meat.
It's a big boy.
And
that rib meat's good. I don't know why you know, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, that you can actually split that at your house and batter it, make chicken nuggets or chicken tenders for your kids.
All right.
And when we say hot dogs, these are mega hot dogs. Like
I
made
call
Danny
them bunker busters, which is an old bomb from the old from the Desert Storm or something. But these hot dogs they're the biggest hot dogs I've ever seen in my life.
And I mean, like how long are they? 10 inches? Like, I mean, they're gigantic.
It's like
they're between 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Here's what I do
huge.
know is that when you put it on a bun and then you put it on a paper plate and you load it up with all your toppings and everything, it will bend the plate.
Yeah. It's
sometimes it's hard to sell the hot dog without getting nasty. You know what I mean? Because you can go a lot of innuendos with our hot dogs.
Yeah.
But I cleaned it up a little bit. I tell people the cool thing about the hot dogs: one, they don't shrink, and then you get 2 extra bites on both sides of the bun.
It hangs
out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's all beef. There's no eyeballs, eyelids. It's actually beef, like off muscle.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not just the byproducts of everything smushed together like your normal hot dog.
Well,
And
it is not a snack. It is a dinner-sized serving of hot dog. It is. You will not be hungry.
And I want to remind everybody that if you want these by Labor Day weekend, submit your orders by Tuesday night, because Jonathan and his team are going to ship it out on Wednesday, and they ship it straight to your house anywhere in the country. Obviously, if you live in Florida, it's a lot easier, and you'll get it faster. But anywhere in the country, they can ship it to you, and it shows up fresh, and you could have it by Labor Day weekend. Now, if you don't have time, you could also go in to Organic Meats in Lake Mary and pick it up if you order it. You can order by phone, or like I said, you can order through our form and pay through our form there on TomandDan.com. But
do you want me to hit the August box?
Yeah.
The August meat box, in this one, the monthly variety meat box, you get 4 chicken breasts, 4 pork chops.
This is the 159er?
This is the 159er. Those pork chops are me and my family's favorite. I'm a pork chop guy, and me and my family we crush the pork chops. 2 New York strips, 2 pounds of ground beef, sweet Italian sausage, again one of my family's favorites, and some ground steak.
And this is the 159 meat box that we came out with before. It's kind of a variety of all the different meats. And if you do want anything changed or substituted, you can do that just by calling the number on the form, and you can place your order on the phone, and you can say, hey, instead of pork chops, can you give me double this? Or, you can work it out, right?
Yeah, so one of the reasons we post this up front is so you can see. Some people may say, well, we don't eat pork, we eat everything else. So as long as the dollar amount works out for this box, we can sub something, work something back in, in case it works. We had one guy last month call and say, man, I want the whole thing in fillets. Can you do that? And I was like, you do understand that you're not going to get like a bunch of fillets. Because,
it has to be the same value.
Right.
Or you have to pay more.
Right. So he traded out his $159 value for just however many fillets I could put in the box for him.
Okay, perfect.
So like a value to value. That's pretty good.
Right.
It's really nice that you're willing to complicate it for you.
Well, our thing is, I'm not, when I first started farming, an old man told me, he said, you can shave a sheep 100 times. You can only skin them once. So I'm not in the skinning business, right? I want people to shop with me. I want them to shop with my son. I want their children to shop with my children.
Yeah.
This isn't something.
You want to keep them.
Right. We're not just trying to do this for today. We're trying to build something bigger than us.
A relationship.
Right.
Sure.
Yes, a relationship. So if it means that I have to go outside the box a little bit or outside the boundaries to give you something that your family wants, that's what I'm going to do.
I love it.
Because the last thing I want to do is you sign up, and you buy a box, and you buy another box, and you buy another box, and you're like, man, we got a freezer full of Morrison stuff, and we never eat this. So now you're mad you never order another box.
Right.
Yeah.
So why do I want to force things on you just to get them out of my? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
you
And
want
I
a
will
customer
say,
for
though,
life.
as a family, that my wife doesn't eat as much meat as me and the kiddo do. But I will say that we got all our stuff. We freeze it. I thought I got enough for a little bit of time. Had the opposite problem. We started blowing through your meat because it tastes better. And I'm not saying everybody will do that, but if you do like meat, I think Sam might have had the same problem. It's like once you start going to the meat box, you blow right through your meat box because it's really, really good stuff.
Yeah, and I want to remind everybody, this is as local and
farm to table.
And I mean, me and Jonathan have been trying to work this out.
It's too hard. He's slaughtering animals. He's working too hard. It's hard to get him in here because he's got to make your meat. He's got to chop it all up.
Every single time me and Jonathan talk, I know
Who do
I
you
said this
think's
before.
chopping?
It's like Jonathan's on the farm working, and we're trying to. And I saw this as an opportunity. We can offer our listeners awesome quality meat that gets shipped to their house through Morris Family Farms.
Let's talk about the steak box.
Yes. Okay. So this is something that we added because I thought, we had a BDM order an ultimate steak box. I saw on a BDM page
and then he posted, he dumped it all out on his counter, and then he started sharing photos in the room, just like it was like he was kind of daring us all to find it, look at what I got,
All right.
kind of in your face.
Good.
And so this is the executive steak box. It's all steaks, Daniel. Let's talk about this.
You got let's see here. We got 2 1-pound Master Chef Prime fillets. You got 2 1-pound Master Chef Prime ribeyes. I like the ribeyes. 2 1-pound Master Chef Prime New York strips. And 1 half-pound 40-day dry aged
No,
porter.
you read that wrong.
1.5
pounds.
1.5 pounds.
Oh,
The steak weighs 1.5 pounds.
1.5 pounds.
The filet on the porterhouse alone is over 3/4.
That's a big boy.
Have you seen our dry aged porterhouse?
I have. In fact, you gave me one, and it blew my family's mind. Unbelievable taste, man.
Yes.
So what is the aging process? How does that work?
So we hang our animals, after you got slaughter, we hang them for 12 to 14 to 18 days, depending on how the carcass looks in the cooler. Right? So you want a natural age, a little bit of bark, but you don't want any mildew or mold that's going to be bad. So you got to watch it. So once that process takes place, sometimes if the animal has enough fat on it, we'll hang it 20 days. Right? So every animal is different. Once that's done, some stuff we sell with a 20 to 25 day, just a simple age. And that's what a lot of the stuff in the case is. But then other things that, our short loins, where the T-bone, the porterhouse comes out of, or the ribeye, if they look really good, we're like, all right, we're going to bag these, right, just in their own natural juices and blood. We're not adding anything to it. And then we'll let them sit in the back for another 15 or 20 days.
And what does that do to the meat?
It gives all the enzymes time to break down.
Yeah, it breaks it down a little bit.
So it makes it
softer,
more tender.
More tender. It brings out the meat flavor. A lot of people say, wow, the longer it's aged, it's like a peanut buttery rich, peanutty flavor, So it really enhances the meat flavor.
Yeah. It's more satisfying. It's richer. Yeah, when you taste a dry aged steak.
And that's something that normally isn't done because it would take too long. Like if you're buying from
commercial meat,
they're just trying to turn meat.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I emphasize that we don't put anything in the bag. So commercial meat is packed green, for lack of a better word. That's what it's called, right? So the animal's done within an hour. It's at 20 degrees, and then it's cut up. It's put in bags. They inject it with nitrous oxide to help the aging process. It's kind of like vegetables when they do ethanol to turn bananas and tomatoes and fruit green. I mean, ripened color.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like the ethanol of the meat world, if you will.
It speeds it up.
Right. It speeds it up. It enhances the shelf life. So that way they can just run through animals. They're not storing anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're doing 7,000. They're packing them out. They're going on trucks and they're going all over the country. And then that's why sometimes you go to your favorite store where steaks are always great and you buy one, you get it home and you're like, man, I can't cut through it because everything's done green that's just what they call it in the industry. But
and it's just rushed. And that's what
That's not what this is.
Yeah, 100%. It's like
This is just like increasing the quality of the proteins that you provide your family at dinner.
Old school too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is how people used to get their
slow
meat.
down a little
like
bit.
you get a local and you get it from a local farm and you get it done right and you know where it came from. It's
Right.
like so. I feel like there's such a disconnect in America between our food and where it comes from, and people are just like because everyone just goes to the grocery store and then buys it and goes.
Well, it's so convenient, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this you actually have to make a phone call or something. But you know what? I don't know. You make it pretty darn convenient to have high quality meat.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Well,
hats
now that
off, man.
it can ship to you, and that's kind of why we started this whole thing. Is that when Jonathan said he had the ability to ship, I was like, wow, that opens it up so much more of our audience because we have an audience around Florida, and if they can't get to Lake Mary and Organic Meats, this is an easy way for it to come to your door.
Right.
So there's 3 different options.
Yep.
And you can mix and match. I say get the steak, get the executive steak box.
I mean, you
just
can't go wrong with
for it.
any of these, man. You
Yeah.
really can't. I'll probably get the steak box and a weekender because
Yeah.
I'm
There
such
you
a
go.
fool. I gotta have some hot dogs.
yeah.
Like my mom would rather
Right.
have a hot dog than a steak. Like that was like
That
she
makes
just
sense.
loved hot dogs.
Get some friends together and I'll split it.
Oh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Get 'em
when
all.
it
Just buy 'em all.
Right. And I wanted 2 things. One, there was your guy took great pictures, but
Tony.
Tony,
Yeah.
yeah.
my wife, that's our meat from our display case.
Oh yeah, those are real photos.
On
That's
the
not- yeah.
pictures. Yeah, that's not like off of the Pinterest thing or whatever.
Yeah,
live
yeah.
stuff. That's actually
It's
our
amazing.
cuts. My wife displayed it out on a plate with a few little sides to make it look nice.
It looks awesome.
So that's the meat that you're actually gonna get.
Yeah, and I know Tony Munget, my wife yelled at me. So
Mungier.
say have some respect for his last name. Don't say Munjet.
Yeah.
Munget.
Everybody spells it Moonjet. Moonjet.
And he went by Organic Meats, and because I was like, we need a proper photo because we've seen it like in the way it ships.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's different than thawed out and displayed,
Sure.
and like you actually get.
Right.
What it's going to look like. And it's amazing. Like when you see the difference between that and what you can get at the grocery store or Walmart, you're just like, wow, it looks like it's a different thing.
You gotta, but
It's like-
look is one thing, but you honestly you just got to try it. You got to taste it.
Right.
The taste once you try it, and like it's easier. I think it was like easier with like my daughter because it's like I kind of felt like she had like fresher taste buds, and everything.
Right.
And she's like, "What is this?" I was like, "She's like, these pork chops are good." I'm like, "All right," and then she starts mowing through them. I'm like, "All right." There's no greater test than like what do they say? Out of the mouth of babes, they say.
Right, yes.
They're gonna cut to the BS. They're gonna give it to you real, and you're doing a damn fine job, man.
So,
Good stuff.
Jonathan,
very much.
what's your week look like? Of
Boys,
work?
we
Like
got to get
today
him back
and-
to celebrating his anniversary.
Yeah. Are you? Is it today's a day off, or are you going back to the
No,
farm?
unfortunately, we're still on a farm project. So my wife and I are gonna go. We're gonna have lunch somewhere downtown.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go home, drop her off, change clothes into my work boots, and then I gotta go do some stuff on the farm, 3, 4, 5 hours. Tomorrow, a lot of produce right now is coming out of North Carolina. So the guy that comes down, I got to meet him in the morning. So I'll get up at 2:30 tomorrow and start running. And tomorrow is probably 16, 17-hour day.
Wow.
I know. I complain when I have like 2 extra videos to edit. I'm like, oh, God, 30 minutes.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's hot.
Yeah.
How much do you look forward to it cooling down too?
I can't
Like,
wait.
I mean, working outside now is
It's brutal. It's
Yeah.
absolutely brutal.
it's hot at night. Like I went outside at like 8:30, like
It's like
dusk.
90 degrees.
Seriously, I'm
Yeah,
like,
at night it is
oh,
horrible.
it hits you in the face. I'm like, why?
Muggy.
This is so hot at night.
It's hard to breathe outside. There's so much water in the air.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're swimming through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just doing hard ass manual labor at a farm
With animals.
with
animals.
doo-doo.
With dead animals.
Well, the thing is, just because it rains, we don't stop working.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes, depending on how the rain falls, you may jump in your truck, eat a sandwich real quick, but then when it stops, you got to get back out. So it's actually worse, unless it rains so hard and so long that it cools everything off, but just a little bit, like a half-inch rain comes through, around 1, 2 o'clock, but the sun's still up, now you're boiling. You're just being steam bath to death.
yeah. Oh, man.
Because all the water in the ground just cooking in that sun coming up on your body. It's brutal, man.
I mean, you have to sweat through multiple clothes, right? I mean,
I change shirts probably 4 times a day.
Yeah, you're just like it's like you jumped in a pool. You're just sweating.
Do you dry one of the shirts and put that back on to save a shirt? How many shirts? You have to have like 100 shirts.
Yeah,
I've got 2 drawers of
just
work
stuff. Yeah,
I wear a lot of white V-necks or gray V-necks. Just to, I just so I have air to breathe.
My papa wore a lot of white
my
V-necks.
dad did too.
I want to. That's all I want to wear is dungarees and white V-necks.
Y'all should start a dress code. Be like the Tom and Dan white.
We wanted to do. I wanted to do the. I wanted to do like the
jumpsuit?
auto mechanic
Jumpsuit,
jumpsuit.
Not on the farm, you don't.
No, in here, auto mechanic.
But hey, what happened to
jumpsuit.
that guy? Oh, he died. He did. We buried him in the jumpsuit.
So again, if you want the stuff by Labor Day weekend,
You gotta get on it.
Put in your orders.
I'd say 6 p.m. Tuesday's going to be the cutoff for shipping.
Okay.
Now, if you're not worried about Labor Day and you still want a box, you can order it anytime you want.
Yeah.
Right? We agree this box isn't necessarily going away?
No, it isn't. We're going to keep this up for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We may make some changes, and Jonathan can come back on if we want to tweak some stuff. But this will be available at tomanddan.com. So even if it's not beyond Labor Day, you can order this at any time. It'll ship straight to you anywhere in the country too. So if you're listening to this in other states,
wherever,
Jonathan can ship it out to you.
And the price includes shipping.
Yeah, shipping is.
I'll ship it within this price.
Yeah. So like the $99, that's with shipping. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, no.
We should probably say that more. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no.
Because shipping.
Because you're thinking like a ton of meat's going to be expensive shipping. No, included.
Shipping will actually stop me from buying things. That's the dumb old man in me. But I will get to a thing that I'm going to buy, and I'm like, oh, look at that shipping. I'm like, that shipping's more than the thing.
Yeah. And this is Jonathan can only do this because we're doing this as grassroots as it gets.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
yes.
Tony made this form from a cruise, like
sitting on the Lido deck.
It's in Alaska.
Tony Moonjet wouldn't took the pictures.
All the Tonys.
Yeah, and then we
Tony.
We have the ability now for you to pay through the form, which was complicated at first. I didn't understand how to do it.
But I think this is going to hopefully make it a lot simpler for your listeners.
Yeah.
And they also, the ones that want to pick it up, is there a place on that form that we know who's going to pick it up and who's going to ship? Is there a way to identify that so we know to have their order ready?
Well, we're trying to because right now
the wrong answer for him.
You could fill out the form, but then it asks for your payment. We have to have an option where it says like pay when you pick up or something. We'll figure this out.
I like the idea of them still paying for it.
Yeah.
Right, so that way we know what we got to cut. But just is there a way for us to see, am I shipping this box or are they coming to pick this box up?
That's something we still have to work out, Jonathan.
That's okay.
Here's the thing: if you
made Jonathan mad,
if you call,
he's standing up.
Well, this is
well, what if during the address part they just wrote in our address? Or they just wrote in pickup.
Yes, you can do that. Yeah, if in the address portion you just put pickup, I'm sure, or if you put that in call right when you order, and
probably be the easiest way to follow up.
Yeah.
That's like what I used to do when I send a fax. You send a fax and somebody would come, did you get the fax? I was like, we got it. All right, thank you.
We're not. You're not dealing with a giant corporation.
No.
We're trying to do this as inexpensive because then once you start building systems and hiring people and then you have to pass that cost along to the customer.
Exactly.
And this is
we're trying to do cheap. The whole idea of what it is.
Yeah. You can order this $159 meat box, full of awesome stuff, and get it delivered to your door for free, no shipping. And that's what we're trying to do here. So if you want to pick it up, my easiest way is just call or order, pay, and then call after or put pickup in.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. I mean,
we're rolling.
Yeah. Jonathan, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for the time and happy
congratulations. On being married 27 years.
27 years.
That's pretty awesome.
To the same woman.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
27 years to the same
That's
woman.
amazing.
Were you with her since high school?
No.
Because you're young.
Yeah, I'm very young. I grew up very fast. I'll save this for another day, but they want to hear this story. Okay. I grew up very fast. By the time I met my wife, I was at 18. I was done. I was done going out to clubs. I was done. When I was, 13, I was 6'2" and could grow a beard. So I grew up
hard ass. Well, yeah.
Oh
my God.
For time, I grew up very fast.
Yeah,
So I met my wife, and some things transpired. So we had known each other for 2 months. I wasn't quite as romantic as I probably should be. I looked at her one day and said, "Hey, how about we get married?" She's like, "Okay." I was like, "I got to call your daddy."
After 2 months?
After 2 months.
And now they've been together for 27 years.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. So we've known each other 27 years and 2 months.
That's a real man.
Yeah.
He was done partying at 18.
You're like, I'm done. Time to work.
I'm
That's
out.
right.
Yeah, like, I need
Time
a
to start a
wife.
family.
Yeah,
Got it out of my system. Oh, man, I remember back when I was 14. I was drinking and clubbing like crazy. 14, I'll never forget 14.
Well, we need a chatting with the masters, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, that's what.
You got no time for chatting with the
that's
master.
true.
Yeah, a real man.
We have to do it on the farm.
Yeah, start working at 18. They were married 27 years. And I.
But does she work just as hard?
She does.
Yeah, I was going
I
to
mean,
say, that's part of it.
We have 8 children.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
And every once in a while, I'll slip up and be like, "Aren't you supposed to be doing some mom stuff right now?"
Oh.
8 kids, real man farm. Like, oh, it's too hard, Jonathan. What you're describing is too much work. It's an insane
Send
amount
your
of work.
boys over to the farm.
No, they're
Give 'em
too
some
soft.
grit.
Oh, my
Too
God.
soft.
They only own white shoes. What are they supposed to do? They only have white
Velcro.
shoes.
How old's your youngest?
10.
10? Oh, okay.
Annabelle Grace.
My oldest is 8, and he doesn't know how to work at all.
Yeah, that's all right.
He
Different lives.
Yeah, it is a different like
Different lives.
yeah. But if
I don't know. There's no free ride at our house. Everybody has to pull their weight.
Oh,
So we have
completely
two
free.
girls. So on Saturday we do the farmers market and the store. So the older kids and mama go to the store. The 12-year-old Julian and a couple of his friends work with me at the farmers market outdoors. And Annabelle and Aurora stay home and clean the house and do all the house chores.
They clean the house while you're gone. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What if while you and your wife are out like doing something for the Bart Merrick team or something, you come back and Max and Tommy clean the house?
I can't even get them to pick up their towels after they take a shower. They leave it on the floor. I'm like, hey, you left a wet towel on your carpet again. And then they're like,
Oh,
sorry.
How would you fix that? The wet carpet on the towel. How would you fix that in your house?
I have a belt and I'll spank my children.
No.
All right, yeah,
I knew it.
He'll never do that.
No, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No belt, only wears elastic waist shorts.
That's true.
Well, pick up the wet towel and whip them up. Don't abuse them. Let me clarify. Do not abuse.
Yeah, just a
I
nice
never abuse my
little
children.
towel whipping.
Yeah.
But I'm a very firm believer in spare the rod, spoil the lad.
There you go.
When I tried to teach my youngest, Max, how to box, and he hit me with a left hook the other day. It was straight in the face.
He's strong.
And then Crystal was like, "Don't let your son hit you in the face." And I'm like, "We were boxing. Like this is it's fair game."
You decided that you were doing it.
Yeah, it's fair game. And but then I feel like he is like,
Well, you
yeah,
got to
I
give
take
him
that,
a
old
taste
man.
too, though.
Well, but
See,
I
that's
can't.
the thing is that I know
I'm
he won't
too-
do it. Like I know me and my dad, if we were going at it a little bit,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad's gonna give me one that's gonna water
Yeah.
my eyes just to let me know that
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
old
Yes,
man, right?
yes.
You'll
Yes,
never
they
do
did.
that. You
No,
love
no.
him too much.
I've always had open door policy to anybody. I get the first 2 licks are free. If you're man enough to try me, the first 2 licks are free.
Oh, with anybody in the world, there's just an open bet.
I
open
sell
back.
a radio
Open
challenge, Tom.
No, are you kidding me, Jonathan?
But so with JJ, as he got older, there was a couple times that he realized, man, I don't want to mess with Dad.
No,
No,
don't
yeah.
tangle with
Julian,
daddy.
my 12-year-old, he's full of himself right now. He's 6'4".
Uh-oh.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
6'4",
Oh, it's a
226 pounds, wears a size
This is-
13.5 shoe.
Oh wow!
And
He'd kick your
trained-
ass up.
I
His
think-
12-year-old
I think-
beat you up.
I think your 12-year-old can beat me up. I'm not joking.
He
Like,
trains in basketball. He'll probably be a D1 athlete somewhere.
yeah.
Right? He does basketball, football, and he started playing volleyball. And he's like, Dad, is it all right if I play volleyball? I was like, yeah, kill it, son.
Yeah, go for it.
I was like, do whatever you want. So Julian's always had the ability to run and just jump on me no matter what. Right? And we've shadow boxed and played around before.
Yeah.
And I have 55-gallon drums that I use for diesel. We brought them home during the hurricanes, didn't use them. So I look out the back door one day and I see Julian running with a football. He throws the football in the air, catches it, runs into that thing and knocks it over. And then he reaches down with one hand and picks it up. So I just walked outside. I was like, dude, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm bored. I'm trying to learn how to be the best tight end that ever played the game. So I'm throwing the ball to myself, catching it, and I'm pretending that's the safety, and I'm hitting him.
He's the whole team.
And I was like, all right. I was like, cool. And I reached over to pick it up, and it was full of water. So real quick, 55 times 8. Water weighs 8 pounds to the gallon. So it wasn't impressive he was knocking it down.
Yeah,
he was reaching down with one hand and
pulling
picking
it
it
up.
back up.
A 55-gallon drum full of water.
Yeah,
I will
and
not
he's
be able to
yoking
pick
it up,
it
yeah.
with one
So
hand.
then he
It's
says to
insane.
me, he says, Dad, I'm going to get on the fence and start running. You throw the ball to me. If I catch it with one hand, hit this and knock it over, and get to the gate before you can catch me, I get 2 free licks on you. I looked at him and I said, son, never again in your life do you get 2 free licks on me. I was like, from now on, I need a 30-second notice before. I was like, you will never again run up on me.
Farm strong is a different strong.
Farm strong is a different type of strong.
Yeah. That's you're not doing CrossFit and doing you are actually
it's practical strength.
Yeah, practical strength. I feel like will always beat out any sort of workout.
Well, him and
guy.
his sister Aurora, I call them my hog dogs.
Oh.
Because we go into the pen and we have big open areas for the pigs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, there's 10 in there. We only want those 2. Go catch them. And then they'll go in and work the pigs in this big area and wrestle them up to get them over to the gate. We get them out in the chute so we can get them on the trailer. And they've been doing that since, or as long as they've been pretty much alive,
Wow.
So Julian and Aurora get out in the mud.
The hog dogs.
The hog dogs.
I call my sons the flake boys.
The flake cakes.
They're white and soft, but different. Flake.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, it takes all of us to make this world. We all got to make this world go round. Right?
His daughter is out there catching
I like it.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
We need your flake
They can
sons
just
to
go to
make the
school
world
and they
go
go
around.
and play Roblox. They're not on a farm. I can't make them tough.
Where are the flakes? The flakes are playing Roblox.
And their old man is not strong. What
do? You do a non-tangible. You're a non-tangible media source.
Yeah.
What do you
No,
do?
but listen,
Just talk on a microphone and go home.
but if y'all were out farming, who would be talking about our farm? So we need y'all. We need y'all.
You need us flakes to talk about your farms.
I'm pretty sure farm guys could do it too. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
I can
you
show
can
you
do
how
it,
He's got a
Jonathan.
show.
You got a show.
Yeah.
You're doing
You have a show.
You're doing it and farming. I got no excuse.
All right.
Jonathan, thanks so much
Thank
for coming
y'all.
by.
Thank y'all for having me.
Again, it's at tomanddan.com. It's right on the top.
can't miss it.
Below the Mo banner, you'll see Morganic Meats. Click here to order. The form's there, and you could just call in Morganic Meats in Lake Mary.
407-402-5686.
Perfect.
Yep. And we're shooting for 100 boxes, guys.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's sell 100, can we?
I think, I definitely think we can do that. If everybody
I would rather sell 100 boxes than have some stranger come up and punch me and say, that was the challenge.
no challenge.
You'll regret that.
First of all, I would advise people not to do that. I'm going to throw that out there because if you want to, if you want to find out that your ass has become the next meat box, you'll literally be chopped up and shipped somewhere. Because you're going to be,
so let's sell 100. Let's sell 100 boxes.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Welcome back to a corporate time. We got limited time because we ran a little bit long in the last segment, but let's do a couple of your voicemail messages.
All right.
And let's jump into this one right here.
Yo, BDM Neil here. Man, you guys, the new Friday free show, you're talking about gaming and all that. And man, I remember playing Spyro. I think, and like Crash Bandicoot and all that stuff, I think it is kind of beneficial because it teaches problem solving and stuff like that. Like, when you're playing games, like role-playing games and stuff like that nowadays and everything, you have to learn how to problem solve. And like,
yeah, that's kind of what you were talking about. Like Neil goes on to say, like, I'll help him because I think sometimes when he's driving around, I've noticed that when people are leaving us voicemail messages on their Bluetooth in their car and they're driving, they'll think through what they're saying, but while they're driving, and it stretches out a tiny thought into like like it's like you can hear the signal turn on because they're having to think as they drive, which is good. I don't want you wrecking and hurting each other. But Neil goes on to basically say that, and I agree with him. Spyro the Dragon, Echo the Dolphin, all the Crash Bandicoot games, all the Super Mario Brothers games where you'd have to figure a way. They were all like little puzzles, right? Yeah. Cool little maps, and you would have to use deductive reasoning. You'd have to use critical thinking skills in order to solve the puzzles. The thing that's bothering you, and he's actually articulating it pretty well, is what's bothering you about Roblox is that there's literally no critical thinking involved.
Yes, yeah.
And that's bothering you.
It's all 90% like easy nonsense, or
Right.
so it seems. Like I haven't.
Where's the value in that? Like it used to be
It's not challenging, or you have to like solve a puzzle, like you said. It's,
like for instance, I remember in Super Mario, the original Super Mario, I think it was level 3. You'd get to level 3, and then you'd make your way up, and then you could go up to that little warp area where you could warp to like level 8.
Yeah, jump to a different land.
Yeah, like where is the idea of knowing that now? Or has that been replaced with, let's say, because, Maisie doesn't play Roblox, so I'll use Tommy and Max, but, like, is their idea of, okay, like, if you and I used to be playing Mario Brothers, I would show you something. I'd be, hey, dude, I figured, look, I found this tube that we could warp down into, and it takes us to a special place. It'd be, like, all coins, like a coin level, and you'd be, like, freaking out. You'd be like, oh, I didn't know about that, and we'd be exchanging these, like, secrets, right?
Yeah, the Easter eggs you found.
Yeah, and then you'd be sharing like, oh, how fast can you run it, or how fast can you go through there, or did you save this princess? Blah, blah, blah. But now when they're playing Roblox and they're talking to their friends about it, are they like, oh, we snuck through this map, or we found this thing, or like, what is the value there?
It seems
they want to show you things because they took you to the race. They took it to like some sort of speed race, right?
Yeah, but it's not really a level that you complete, because like Ross was talking about on the Friday Free Show, all these different levels or worlds are user created.
Yeah.
So they're amateur. You know what I'm saying? So it's not created by some giant corporation that is putting
But that
together.
in itself, I think, maybe your kids don't know yet, but that's pretty inspiring to be like, hey, one day maybe I can build my own
to create
game.
a world.
Yeah.
I would say that
that's
there's
cool.
like value in that, because there's some sort of creativity involved. Obviously, to do that you would need, I'm guessing, some sort of software and coding, right? Like you'd have to code that, so that's about, I'd take that all day long if they made their own world. It's kind of like why I'm fine with Minecraft for the most part, is because they're building something and being creative. So they're actually putting things together and like building their house and stuff like that, and being creative with it, and like, so I like that as opposed to just an open source run around do nothing. Although it seems like there's like they're really into meeting with their friends and their cousins. Like, and I like that aspect of like Daisy. She plays now.
That's cool.
And so after school, my sons will play with my brother's daughter, Daisy. She lives down in Miami. And so I like that
they
can still keep that relationship.
Yeah,
that's awesome that there's a social connection there for sure.
So that is the one element of the Roblox that I like, is they're playing with Daisy, and then they're like, I like that they're talking to each other while they're playing, and so they'll FaceTime and they'll play together and they'll be in the same world. And
that'd be awesome if I was a kid.
Yeah,
I used to snail mail writing to my cousin.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it for like a week.
Oh God, I wish I was an old lady alarm I could.
What would they? Is it just a normal buzzer? I feel like
it's
the old.
The same.
Okay.
I would never have any contact with my cousins until we went to my grandma's house.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that was the only contact I'd ever have. Like we didn't call each other. We didn't.
Holidays.
It was just at the grandma's house. That was the only time I saw my cousins. And then after that, they disappeared from my life. Like I was never any like calling them or keeping up with them.
I had no concept of them even having a phone. I'd be like, once they left, I'd be like, I can never see you again. So we have to play really hard. Like we got to go hard with our G.I. Joes and hard with our toys and video games. We got to play.
So there is an element that
cool.
I like about that, but I don't like that there's no mission and there's no adversity or like having to beat a level that we had with the old school games. But I don't know if it makes a difference. It's all
we'll see for sure.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. Did we sell all those Z159 trucker hats?
Hope so.
I don't know. But the featured merch item is the $10 159 trucker snapback.
Yes. So. Check that out. Subscribe on Twitch, Tom and Dan Live. Subscribe on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live. And check out our Airbnb. It's called the Air T&D. Go to bookairtnd.com.
Yep. We'll be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God, it's happening. I almost died. I went to say, I'm Dan, and nothing came out. Hey, I'm Dan, and I'll be dead soon, I guess. Wow, that was scary.
If you sign up to become a BDM at tomandan.com, we'll send out one more invite before the beach party.
Yes.
Just one?
We already sent an invite to every BDM currently, but if you do sign up,
If you're a new guy.
we'll make sure you get an invite.
Or
and,
girl.
Or girl, or anybody, or whatever.
Whatever you're into.
Anybody. If you have...
It's just easier to
If
say.
you got the money,
$2.95.
we got the money.
Yeah. If you got $2.95,
you're an
I don't care
animal.
what you're doing.
We will send you an invite.
Get an account for your dog. The first BDM to get an account for your dog, $10.95. I'll send you something free.
All right.
I have to see your dog, and you have to fill out your dog's name and charge it on your credit card under your dog's name.
And send it with a picture.
And send it in with a picture of your phone on the latest show and your dog listening to it. I want your dog smiling in the photo. You use your fingers to push on his cheeks. Because, I hate it when people do that. They're all, look, my dog smiles. Then every time you look up what a dog's doing, like, oh, my God, my dog smiles. You see it, like, oh, look at him smiling. And then you Google it, and what's happening? The dog is in severe distress. That's what it stands for.
Yeah. Like his
Did he raise his gums over his teeth? Is he showing his teeth and actively do his eyes look like he's having fun? Yes, that's what you're typing it in. Yes, that's what's happening. And they're like, oh, God, his liver's failing. He's dying. He's in extreme distress. I'm like, well, why? Okay, never mind.
So they scrubbed that rocket that was supposed to go off.
Why? Was it dirty? Dad joke of the day.
My wife was going to let my sons go late to school so they could go...
Late? They would have never made it.
you
You know how
guys are-
bad traffic is right now trying to get back from
I
there?
love that you guys are such a space family. You'll drive out there. You'll park on the side of the
My
road.
wife
You'll
is.
get
I'm not.
your beach chair. It's so stupid that you guys are a space family.
She loves it.
I
Like,
hate space families.
Oh.
I'm yucking on everybody. If you drive
Crystal's
out there,
mom will run down the street and then burst through her and be like, a rocket's going off, and scare the hell out of me, and then run to her
rocket.
backyard.
We've seen this a billion times.
Yeah.
It's not even entertaining anymore. It's better on your TV so you can see what the rocket looks like.
My wife and my mother-in-law
that
love
is
it. They love rockets.
I'm going to say something bad.
Oh.
That is bumpkin. If you run in your house, hey, man, them there's a robot D shooting straight up into the stars right next to God's tears.
They love
That's
it.
bumpkin.
But apparently, and I have no idea, but my wife tells me about this. I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, this is a Falcon Heavy, and it's a giant launch. And this is the, I guess, the one that's going to test going to the moon. They orbit around the moon, and it's going to fly back. And this is going to be the test so that the later flights, they could send manned missions to the moon.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was a thing.
You got to put something in there, though. Like Sam asked earlier, like when we first got on the air, she's like, hey, what's on this? And you're like, no, it's unmanned. And if you're like me, you're an old school space guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Put a dog in
I
there.
watch it. Exactly. I watch it on TV. I've seen it. I'm not going to watch it I'm going to look up my eye. First of all, I need my glasses to see anything now because I'm old. And second of all, everything's better on TV. Sporting events, anything in the sky, like riding. It's all better on TV, right?
Yeah.
So you go inside and you're watching the rocket go up. Look at it go! And then let's check in with the dog. Let's go to the dog's camera and see what he's doing. Right?
Yeah.
You see if he's got his goggles on. He's shaking as this thing's like rocking. You get it's like that fuzzy, like like picture that they got like the camera on him and then it's going in and out.
Yeah.
Because of the what do you call that? Like there's some sort of interference.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're going through the atmosphere, there's like a 30-second dark.
Right,
like,
where you go, and you'll know what happened.
Yeah, they're like, if it comes, it could be burning up.
And then you cheer. You cheer. He takes his goggles up, his goggles. He's like, gives you a thumb up on his paw.
So I was saying it'd be cool to see really high-quality HD footage of people effing around on the moon. Like once they get up there, I think that would be cool to see that.
Their moon buggy. The moon buggy was where it's at, right?
Like, yes.
How long does it take you?
There's still old moon buggies up there.
But we see these photos, right? And we see these videos of the moon buggy and everything. How long does it take between me we land on the moon. I'm in my little pod. How long does it take real time in your estimation for me to put on my suit. How long does it take to put on that suit? 2 hours? 35 minutes?
I don't know. We need an astronaut.
I need some. Well, we asked one. My wife did some sort of, I forget what she did, where she met an astronaut and then told her what I do, and he was intrigued, and then I guess he checked out the show and he was horrified, so he vowed to never.
Well, we need a SpaceX. We need a private astronaut. They're looser.
They
like
are
the
looser.
Government astronauts. They're military people, and they're like by the book. This is
we don't need Mitt Romney in here. We need like a loose cannon kind of a
dude. My wife was listening to the broadcast of the launch, and
she's really into it, man. I had
morning?
no idea what she's like. She's got
so you guys have been going back and forth rocket talk?
Yeah, well, she's got a police scanner out. She's listening. Oh my God, they scrubbed it. Is she dressed like a space person?
I'm making the kids lunch and breakfast today, and then my wife's listening to the broadcast
hat on,
and to see if the launch is out. And the broadcast is not the stereotypical NASA broadcast that we're used to. It is loose, like it's like a podcast with like a young.
Yeah, Doc and Johnny.
They were selling T-shirts. They were like, "Hey, go to our website, buy these shirts, the SpaceX shirts." Like they're selling shirts. It's not like I'm used to government
Oh my
issued.
God, Mike Busey was hosting it. Mike Busey hosted the SpaceX launch.
It's looser. Their broadcast is more like a Gen X podcast than it is like a government issued. Straight word,
Well, wait a minute. What happened to the fat guys with the dress shirt, the short sleeve dress shirt, right? And the horn rimmed glasses, who's got his hands on his hips waiting to see if the astronauts are going to live. That's what I want. I want it to all be 1960s NASA.
This is kind of what the whole For All Mankind on Apple Plus was about. Like this last season was about like private like space travel.
But the season before that is how we got rockets into space, and it was all black women.
There's a lot more. It was an alternative timeline, whereas like in this alternative timeline, women were back in the 60s.
You're really getting into timelines nowadays.
This guy's a space timeline
guy.
Yeah.
Different universes. You're becoming a nerd.
The whole premise of that show was private.
I almost bought you a Yellowstone T-shirt from Home Depot this weekend.
From Home Depot?
They sell at Home Depot.
Home Depot sells Yellowstone.
Oh, sorry, it was Lowe's.
Oh my
Lowe's?
God.
Yeah.
Where do they sell that at?
They have novelty T-shirts now back by
No,
the house
they do
plants.
not. Lowe's does?
They were all out of the Yellowstone shirts.
bet.
I've never seen a shirt.
Me either.
My
They
God,
sell
Lowe's
Yellowstone.
is now a hot topic.
It's Spencer's.
They sell Yellowstone shirts at Lowe's.
Yeah.
How did I miss
would have
this?
bought it if they had them, but they were all out.
I see what they're doing. Lowe's is pivoting to a little bit more like Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
Because Tractor Supply back in the day, you walk in a Tractor Supply, they got a clothing area, and you walk about there.
Overalls,
but they'd have stuff that they'd have novelty T-shirts, but ones that only their brand of human would want, like Cheerwine, Mountain Dew,
John Deere.
Yeah, they got like the working man's brands.
Yeah.
You know, Liberty overalls.
But anyway, so would you guys watch? I wonder how they're going to display it. If it's just going to be their own feed,
I would watch a
if
space feed. Yeah, man.
If this is going to be on any sort of streaming service, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just put it out yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
But it would probably get more views if like Netflix hosted it or Amazon. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it wouldn't be Amazon because Bezos is trying to do his own thing. So I don't know whatever SpaceX is.
I guess I'm really surprised that somebody hasn't. The government has done this before, where the government will be like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll help provide, the people for it. Like we'll give you everything you need. Just get somebody young and hip in there to host it for us.
Yeah. Well, this is not. I mean, the government has nothing to do with it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, there's a blurred line in there with space, right? I mean, obviously they have to have a pretty severe amount of regulation to just do that. You can't just start shooting rockets into space without having the government's approval.
Of course, yeah. But I wonder, like, going to the moon, if there's any you don't need permission from anybody, right? It's not owned by anybody. How does that work?
Somebody has to claim the moon, right? Which country claims the moon?
Well, United States went there first.
We got our flag up there.
So, but there's other.
Or have we all agreed loosely to share
the
moon? I'm not fighting for the moon.
Well,
they can have the moon.
Moon war.
I think Russia sent They sent their own
Yeah.
cosmonauts to the moon at one point, right? Later, like after.
I believe so.
That was the whole premise For All Mankind, that Russia got to the moon before the United States, and that caused this huge space race more, and it went beyond what it did. But so my question is, once like SpaceX gets up there, right? And they're going to go find some of the stuff left from the first missions, the buggies and stuff like that. Once they show that on their cameras, will people that believe that we never went to the moon start believing it once they see that?
No, they're too far gone.
Or they'll just be like, because I've seen the TikTok.
I guess the conspiracy theorists would say that a human didn't put that there, right? They would say that it was put there by like a rover or something. There's going to always be an excuse, a way out. Trust me, I looked into these moon theories.
Although if they
there
went
will always be a way out.
Because there'll still be the footprints and stuff, and they could probably show it. Like, here's the footprints from freaking Neil Armstrong.
I just kind of feel like people,
here's the flag.
like, you don't see it very often, because if you're willing to believe that people didn't land on the moon, like right now as we stand, there's very little I can do to convince you that the powers that be aren't going and using everything that they have to still continuously trick you. Mm-hmm. So if I say, hey, look, they're there now, that you'd be like, yeah, that's all fake again.
How do we know that's live footage?
And then they'd be like, look at the links they're going to make you, foolish sheep, believe what I already know to be untrue. I'm so much smarter than you.
Do you think that SpaceX, once they're up there on the moon, will do things that will make it impossible to doubt that they actually are there? You know what I'm saying? Like, because
I hope so.
Because now we have better cameras and better technology, so we could probably watch somewhat live, real-time
body cam.
But yeah, now I know there's going to be some sort of delay. But,
don't moon me, bro.
But they could probably prove that they are there, and this is not just some production.
Right,
because
but
that was
my
the
point
whole thing.
Is that
no one's
even your proof.
I know, yeah.
You know, like, who's vetting your proof? So you're saying this is the proof, and I'm saying everything you're giving me is garbage.
Yeah. It's all a lie.
Because you're a liar from everything you are just doing is to trick me.
I wonder what.
God, living your life like that must be terrible.
Well, I like skepticism and being a skeptic with a lot of things, but
you don't get tired of asking questions? No. Sometimes I get tired of asking questions. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to leave everything alone.
Well, sometimes I just give up because it becomes unimportant. It's like, who cares?
Right,
but I would figure that they would try to do something that would put the skeptics, they would quiet them. Like, I'm like, hey, we're doing this. There's no way to fake this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that is, but they're smart. I'm sure they could figure it out.
Every time I think that with any world event, like you could apply that to anything that's gone on in the last, let's say, 3 years. The pandemic, January 6th, anything that like is a big world event. There are people that, there are organizations that will present, clear-cut evidence of like, here's what happened. And then there are still people that will be like, no. Yeah. And that's the scary part, I think, is that like everybody's baseline of what they actually believe is sort of different.
And I feel like there's this whole new generation. I see it on TikTok, too. Like, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists, TikTok content creators. And there's a lot of moon TikTok conspiracy theorists. And they bring up points. Now, I'm sure they could all easily be debunked by someone smarter than I am that actually knew this stuff. But
they're at least confident when they present them, which lends you to want to believe what they have to say.
And just the fact that they're saying that this was done in the 60s is so mind-blowing to, I think, current generation that I think that lends itself to being skeptical, because you're like, what? In the 60s, like,
and the fact that no one's been back, right? So it's a combination of a lot of things.
And like the amount of technology we had, like, it seems so improbable that we were able to pull it off. That people, I could see them being like, no way this happened, because we didn't even have anything. Like, that we were still, I think half the people had black and white TV. Like,
we did.
Yeah, a lot of the footage was in black and
white. But also our idea of what, the amount of technology we had at the time is also skewed. So that plays into it, right? Like, you not knowing that the government has tons of technology, and in the 60s, we were actually in a pretty decent place for spaceflight technology.
Or we could get it done.
Right, we could get it done. I mean, like, they obviously knew what they were doing, but we also didn't have the way to push that amount of information out to everybody as quickly as we do now. So I feel like, in a weird way, everybody should be technically a little bit smarter as we sit, just by the way that information gets to you quick. You know, you should be smarter.
I think those astronauts too. They were willing to die. Like, there was a big
I
high.
feel like any astronaut is willing to die.
Yeah, they are.
You couldn't pay me any amount of money to go to space.
Well, nowadays, like when Bezos goes up
It's terrifying.
in the D rocket and they float around up there, that's pretty safe. Like, he ain't doing that with any sort
that
of.
Doesn't scare me at all.
You know, if there was a 5% chance of him dying in that, I don't think he's getting. It's too much for him to lose.
Have you ever been to the Smithsonian?
I think that was as safe as a regular flight with
that
all
was like
the
a
money.
Disney ride, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Smithsonian and seen the actual capsules that they have? I remember going as a little kid and, like, 13, 14. And I remember looking at these things, and that actually played into my fear of flying. I remember looking in these capsules and just seeing little switches and dials.
They're pushing buttons.
Now,
the green, the black screen with the green radar stuff.
What does that even mean? Like, now everything has a camera on it now.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine that if you're sitting on the space station or sitting in some sort of a vessel that we own now, there's cameras all over the thing. But you look at those and how tiny and cramped they are.
Yeah.
And you're in a tiny space here, you're pooping and peeing yourself.
Yeah. It's nuts what happened. Yeah. Like, you see that, and that lends to skeptics too, because you're like, no way. When you see the inside, no way someone flew in this to the moon.
But see, I wasn't as skeptical when I saw it because we didn't have that culture. Culture wasn't like that. So when I saw it, instead of being, this never happened, which is what most people do now, I remember having the feeling of, wow, imagine having to train to do that and being like, wow, these guys are like decorated heroes. The fact that they get in these tiny things and they test stuff that we need for, medical devices. They, they're always trying to go above and beyond, the next frontier.
What could they do on the moon that would interest you, Sam? Like
free taco.
That would all interest me.
Free taco Target, Taco Bell. And then you throw a beach ball, see if it lands in the center, and everybody gets a free taco.
That'd be super cool.
But
I'm not going to the moon.
So what I'm talking about, like, even back in the 60s,
to get her
they brought some golf clubs. They were hitting some, they were doing some novelty
like
gimmicks.
It up.
Yeah, well, that's what they were doing. They were trying to, like, make it entertaining.
Okay, I got one. Cornhole.
Okay,
I would like to
you
see.
can throw the bag
so
far.
Slow, though, right?
I would like to see.
No, you go far because less gravity.
I would like to see cornhole. I would like to see.
I want to see go-kart racing.
Are they going to bring? I'm sure they'll inevitably bring a buggy up there. Like,
listen, you didn't say, and you just said what would impress me.
Yeah.
No, I like your idea. I'm just saying I don't know. Wow, you get in the cart and you start floating
Do
around.
A flash mob dance.
I mean, like, I wonder
what
if
would impress you? You're the one that's the most not impressed.
Well,
by
I'd like to see him drill down and see if there's anything like what's
They've
under.
already done that though with like rovers.
Yeah.
How far down do you want them to drill?
You know what I would really? Okay,
there's nothing there.
This
is
is
gonna
sound.
Oh, they should
sick.
do like the Mud Boys and build a little pool or something.
This is gonna sound sick, but what I would like to see is I would like for you to I would like for one of the astronauts to take his helmet off for 3 Mississippis.
I don't think you can do that.
I know, but that's you asked me again, going along with the idea of what's
suicide on the moon.
No, I don't want him to die. I just want him to take his helmet off, then put it right back on, like a quick Like
what happened?
I don't know. I want to know though.
Yeah.
I want to know. Give me 3 Mississippis a helmet off.
I think what happens, and they depicted this in For All
Doesn't
Mankind.
it suck your face through a tiny hole?
I feel like it dehydrates your blood.
In space, yeah, like you die. It is a total vacuum.
Is it fast? Is it an instant death, or do you have enough time to put your helmet back on?
No, it's not instant. On the moon, I think your blood wants to come out through your skin and all. Because
mine already does.
Because there's less of an atmosphere by whatever it is, and so you can't survive. But I think if you took your helmet off and held your breath, I think you could do like a 3 Mississippis
and then
put
your helmet back on. But then would you have a purple face for the rest?
Yeah, it would be all bruised. You'd have a completely bruised. I don't know.
Turn your eyeballs inside out.
There's tons of like scientists that have probably gone through what would it do to your human body. Like I'm sure it's online right now. If you what if a human just went onto the moon without a spacesuit?
It basically says you can do it for 15 seconds.
Oh, 15 seconds.
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
All right, they give me the three Mississippi.
But
well, that's the most. But you do have the chance of like passing out essentially, and then you black out. And
do you
die.
guys remember the movie with Sandra Bullock and what's his name? George Clooney.
Yeah.
It's been long. It's been
Gravity.
like 20 years.
Oh,
Gravity.
yeah,
where
yeah.
aren't they like? Don't they at some point get set adrift in spacesuits?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
In
All
space.
of those kind of movies give
Terrifying
me so
to
much
me.
anxiety.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watch them, but it gives
Why
me so
do you
much.
watch them? I
don't
avoid
know.
them. Like
I don't know.
I was actually going to talk myself into going back to Gravity and actually seeing if I could watch it because it's terrifying to me.
It's tough. My
Set
chest
adrift.
tightens.
I would just take my helmet off and kill myself. Like if you're setting me adrift, if I have my choice.
But see, I don't know. A part of me is like, well, I'm already drifting. I might as well see what's out here, right?
No, I'd be
terrible.
crying.
No,
I'd be
no.
crying.
Crunching
Oh, I'd
the
definitely be
cyanide.
crying.
I'd be crying.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way I'm curious while I'm crying.
Well, you get the molar where there's a cyanide pill that all you have to do is break it and you die. Yeah. Like, for sure, I want that.
But what if you don't have the pill?
I mean,
then
I-
what? Then
no,
you just
they-
take the helmet
I
off?
want that, but then at the same time, I don't want my teeth to whack around. I'm at Dueling Dragons. I'm over at Universal. I die because my molar falls out.
If one day I'm an old man and they're offering trips to the moon to go up there and you
You're
get out
going?
and
Trip to the moon.
and let's say it's 100 G's, right? I think I'd do it. Because it would
Say
be
goodbye to your sons.
it would be no. A trip to the moon, you go and you come back. It's a vacation.
I know, but
excursion.
you wouldn't think about,
No, if they're offering rides like that, I mean, they
what if
already,
your sons ask you not to do it?
well, I'm guessing I'll be an super old man, and they'll have kids. You know, I'm thinking like I've lived my life. I want to go to the moon.
Okay.
They'll support, and it's safe. Like it's like
Gotcha.
the Bezos, the rich people that pay just to go to space.
I
and
would
stuff.
do that now.
It's safe. Those people.
They're not going far out into space.
No,
you know that,
no,
right?
no.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying, imagine in 20 years that this will be more and more possible to take a trip to the moon and you get out and then walk around. Because imagine standing on the moon and looking at Earth. There's nothing.
Yeah, mind blowing.
It would.
You can't even conceive it right now. Yeah.
I mean, that would be the most incredible experience you could possibly experience as a human being.
It is,
right?
but I have an argument against it in that there's very little you can do.
No. Yeah.
It would just be something
That I've
insane.
seen.
It
But
also
I-
could be really bad for somebody that already has anxiety. Be like, wow, I am that small.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I might freak
I-
out when
I
I
mean
see
nothing,
it.
yeah.
Well,
Insignificant. Like,
Yes.
and then also like think about like I
Existential
come
crisis.
back, I come back and I've done that. Like it's literally a meaningless.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Like it's not something I can explain to people. They're never going to be able to understand the concept of what I've seen and how it changed me. So it's almost better to not do it because all I'm going to be is the moon guy, right? I'm walking around, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, there's the moon guy," and then all I do for the rest of my life is try to explain to you about how cool this moon thing was, and none of you guys can relate to me.
Yeah, but
I'm that annoying ass moon guy. Oh, he's gonna tell us about it. I stood there. I looked at Earth.
It
changed me.
It's the new Everest, right? It's like because Everest that so many people have done is not even that impressive.
You know, I never
anymore.
thought about that. You're exactly right.
but
It is the next Everest. It's the new one.
Because
Yeah.
if you stood on the moon and
Destination Moon.
looked at the Earth, there's such a small amount of humans that have ever done that.
Yeah.
It would be so like a lot of rich people would pay to do it.
Yes, a
You know
lot
what
of
I'm saying?
rich people have paid to do it.
But not the moon. Yeah, but
no.
get in
I
space.
mean
yeah,
Everest.
yeah.
I thought that's what you were
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say, yeah, a lot of rich people have done that, and I think a lot of rich guys. I think you're right.
And even the people that have paid to go into space, looking back at Earth, they say it changes your perspective and entire life.
I'd rather do ayahuasca.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
cheaper,
It's cheaper.
I get to stay
It's
here.
cheaper.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.